So excited for this one. Financial self-defense. If you've ever had a kid, you probably had trouble where they've thrown a temper tantrum and you don't know what to do. And of course, it's always the most embarrassing time when somebody's watching. Us moms also often put ourselves last and we feel like we're on an allowance and there's nothing left to spend on ourselves at all. Lots of times we feel like we're taking on all of the household budgeting and stress, and no matter how helpful our partners are, that's hard. Tons of research shows that this can cause stress in the marriage, but what isn't discussed is how if your kids know a little bit about money, it can help alleviate some of these stressors. Now to the fun stuff. Where do you start? Starting young always helps. Not quite that young, but you don't want to wait till they're in school or longer. First of all, you should have a budget yourself and put in what you think it's going to cost for the kid. I threw in the cat because it's category. So one of the first lessons is to do something quite a few of us will try to avoid, and that is take them shopping so they can see what happens. They start to notice that you pick up what you want and then you end up paying for it at the till. As they get older, they'll start asking for what they want, and I like letting them pay for it, have them hand the money to the teller. Really key here though is use actual cash. Don't get them used to the card side of things yet. It just confuses matters. So the next step is when they start to ask where all the money comes from and how do you get it, because they will eventually want to know where everybody's going if they're going to work every day. Money doesn't grow on trees is a real hard concept for a little one. So an explanation that somebody has to work and then the money goes into a bank account is a great way to approach how you get money. And that's the first step to learning how to save. Once they understand that they have to earn the money, then teaching them how to save it and why to save it is that much easier. So when it comes to teaching how to save money, I like to build off of what we already have. Once they are asking for buying things, then I like to reinforce lesson two and give them some age appropriate chores and or activities to earn the money, and then teach them about a concept called paying yourself first. Paying yourself first just means that as soon as you receive money, an allowance or gift or whatever, that you have to decide what you're going to do with it and set some aside right away. So I like to use the 3-jar system. The first jar, it's for short-term spending, something that's like candy or something small that they might want at the store every time you go there. The second jar is for longer term savings. So this is something like if you're at the toy store and they're trying to get you to buy something a little bit bigger, this would be what they would be saving up for with their long-term savings. Jar 3 is for saving for other people. So this could be other friends' birthday parties or church or whatever they want. It's just to give the idea of saving some for someone else. Remember, this is all just about concepts so that we can build on them later on and they'll have good money habits for as they get older. So I don't make them chip in the whole amount, of course, when they're little. And if they're struggling with the idea of savings, parent store is what we ended up doing for our son because he just had real hard time saving up for anything. So what happened is we would purchase whatever his big item that he was saving up for and put it into a cabinet. We didn't really have to lock it, but we did keep an eye on it and it gave him the incentive to save his money because he could see what he wanted. Along with this idea, we also took every opportunity to explain the difference in prices. Backpacks, one being fancy, might cost more. When asked about going out for fast food instead of eating at home, then we would explain that there's a price difference there. So any opportunity we had, we took to explain things. Stores were a great learning lesson once they got to a certain age. Showed them how to shop around, right? There can be different products that are priced very differently, but very similar products. And it even progressed into how marketing works, and they put the most expensive stuff at the front, all those types of lessons as they got older and older. The end result we're looking for is lesson number 5. We want the kids to understand what a want is versus a need. There's lots of examples when you're school shopping, groceries. Making a Christmas list can be a list of wants versus food is a need, stuff like that. And the goal, of course, is that you're setting them up for not only today and your sanity as you're raising them, but also that they end up naturally carrying these lessons forward and applying them as they go through life. Remember, too, they're always watching what you do as well. And teaching these things young can make the difference between being incredibly stressed, instead having great money habits that will help them reach the goals that they want. There's obviously no guarantee, but if you start teaching them as many of these skills as you can early on, they have a far better chance of living the life of their dreams and hopefully lower some stress on your side as well. I know this one was rather long, but if you enjoyed this video, this type of training, I'd love to hear your feedback, any comments. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, join our community, and help us help our kids and each other.